Good morning, student. Welcome to the third lecture of unit number 3. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the types of layout, in which we specifically discuss about the linear layout and the absolute layout. So, what is linear layout? Linear layout is linear in nature. That means it can either be vertical or horizontal depending upon the orientation that we have defined. Okay, it means that linear layout is a view group that align all its children in a single direction, either vertical direction or either horizontal direction. Okay, after that we have seen how to create linear layout. Okay, we have also discussed about the attributes of linear layout. So how to create or how to design linear layout by using this type of coding. Okay, so inside activity underscore main.xml, there is your coding file. Okay, and this is your design portion. Okay, now this linear layout is vertical linear layout because here I mentioned orientation as vertical. Okay, it means that there are three buttons in this layout, that is button 1, which is start service, pause service and stop service. Okay, so these all three buttons are in vertical position. Okay, and this is the output which runs on your emulator, that means Android virtual device. After that we have seen horizontal linear layout just by changing this orientation as horizontal, and this is the output of horizontal linear layout. Here the same three buttons which are in the vertical linear layout are now arranged in horizontal manner. After that we have seen absolute layout. Now what is absolute layout? Absolute layout enables you to specify the exact location of its children's, but how? In terms of x and y coordinates of the item. Okay, so this 20, 35, 100, 85, what is this? These are the x and y coordinates of this view. So there are three views in my layout: view 1, view 2 and view 3, and this is the x and y coordinates of that view. Okay, so in absolute layout we have to specify the x and y coordinates of our view to specify the exact location of our view. After that we have discussed the attributes of view, that is Android ID, layout underscore x, layout underscore y. It means that x coordinate and y coordinates of the view. Then we have seen how to design absolute layout. So in this example, we have used two buttons. Button 1 is your OK button and button 2 is your cancel. Okay. Now we know that layout width, match parent. What is match parent? What is orientation? Horizontal. By default, orientation is your horizontal. Okay. By default, it is horizontal always in all types of layout. That is linear layout, absolute layout, table layout, frame layout, and so on. So here we use text OK for button 1, and the x and y coordinates of that buttons are 50 pixel and 361 pixel. Okay, so it specify the exact location of this OK button, and after that we have to specify the exact location of cancel button. For that I used x coordinate, that is 300 pixel, and y coordinate as 361 pixel. Okay, y coordinate means it is the column height. So y coordinate is same in the both for both the buttons, that is OK and cancel button. And now what is this 100 dp? It is the width of your button. So this is all about the previous lecture, that is linear layout and absolute layout. Now in today's lecture we are going to discuss about what is table layout, how to design table layout, then what is relative layout, and what is frame layout. Okay, along with the practical session. So let's start with the table layout. So what is table? A table is an arrangement of rows and column. Okay, what is table? Table is an arrangement of rows and columns. So these are the rows and these are the columns. So there are 3 rows in this layout and 3 columns. Okay, so when we divide our views into these rows and columns, then we come to this particular view group as a table. Okay, it means that when we divide our layout into rows and columns, it means that we are using view group. Which view group? Table view group. Okay, so let's see how a table layout looks like. So table layout having some attributes like the very first attribute is Android:ID. Now what is ID? We have already discussed this ID in linear layout and absolute layout. So ID which uniquely identifies the layout. It means that it is a unique identification of your table layout. So you cannot give two table layout with one ID because it is unique identification. So you cannot assign same ID to two types of table layout. Okay, it must be different for both the table layout in an Android view. Then next one is Android: collapse columns. It means that collapse columns means that if I want this column should not be visible, or if I want this column should not be there on the screen. For example, on my screen I am having 3 columns. Okay, here I am having 3 columns, and now if I want to collapse this particular column, that time I passed it as a collapse column like 1. Okay, so if I want to collapse this particular column, that time I will pass it as a collapse column like 1. So if I can have multiple columns by comma, then if I want, in a similar way, if I want to adjust my shrink size, for that we have another syntax, that is Android:shrink column. So if I want to adjust my shrink size, so I passed which column should be shrinkable. So if in case there is some problems in the arrangement of table layout, so this also can have column indices separated by the commas like 1, 2, 5. And the last one attribute is stretch column. So if there is unused space available on the column or on the layout, that time you can have one column to adjust or use maximum space. So this can be done by having a stretch column or the index to this column. This can be done by having stretch column property. So in this property, you pass the indexes to these columns or to that columns to be stretched. Okay, so the column indices must be also separated by the commas, and you can do this by using stretch column property. So these are some basic attributes, some basic properties for the table layout, that is Android ID, collapse column, shrink columns, and the stretch column. Now let's discuss about how to design table layout, how to insert columns, how to insert rows, how to use stretch column property, shrink column property, collapse columns property. Okay, so let's start with the designing table layout. So in this table layout, we just have 2 buttons and one text view, that is text time and clock. Okay, so first, to design table layout, we have to mention here table layout inside our activity underscore main.xml file. Okay, now we know that which are the basic steps. First, you have to open your Android Studio. After that, select create new project, select an empty activity, and after that name your project as table layout. So these are the basic steps. So once you create your new project as table layout, just go to the app folder, then go to the Java, and inside the Java we have main activity dot Java folder. Okay, so this is your main class. By default, you get the coding of main activity dot Java. After that, click on res folder, that is resources. There we get you will get layout folder. Okay, and inside the layout folder, after going inside the layout folder, just click on activity underscore main dot xml file, which shows the coding of your design as well as the layout, your design layout. Okay, so this is the code for our layout. So table is nothing but the arrangement of rows and columns. Okay, so for that, first we have to create table row. Okay, so here I have created table row by using syntax table row. So first row created. Now what is meant by field parent? Now in the previous lecture, I told you that field parent means what? It tells your view to become as big as its parents. Okay, so it adjusts its size according to its parents. So in the table row, we have set the layout width by using field parent property, and layout height again field parent property. Now one row is created. So this is the first row which is created by this table row. Now inside this row, we want or we have created text view. Which text view? Time. Okay. Now I want to display time and date on the top of my application. So here I have used Android text property and my text is what? Time. Now layout width and layout height. Again, which property here I am using? Wrapped content. Now, what is wrapped content? So, wrapped content tells your view to size itself to the dimensions required by its content. So, as per the dimension of contents, it size itself according to its content. Okay. So, the height and width is set as per the dimension of its contents. And this is column number 1. Okay. So, this is row 1. In the row 1, we created text time, and this time comes under column 1. So here is your time, that is column 1 and row 1. Likewise, here I have created clock also. Okay, so this text clock is again comes under first row because here I have created single table row. So this clock comes here. Okay, so here is your time. Sorry, this clock comes here, that is here is the time and here is a clock. So column number 2. So here I have created 2 columns. After that, first row completed. So end tab, that is slash table row. Now after that, we have 2 text view. First one is the first name text view and another is the last name text view. So how to create text view? Again, here I am using Android text property is equals to first name. That means this name, the first text is named as first name. Again, wrap content, that means it adjusts its dimension according to its contents. And column number 1. So this first name is comes under column 1. After that, we have another text view, that is last name, and now this last name is also comes under column 1. So this is your last name and this is your first name. And after that, we have one button. So the text of this button is submit, and the submit button has unique identification. Okay, so here For unique identification, here I am using Android ID syntax. So @ plus ID / button. This is the unique identification of this view, that is submit, and it comes under column number 2. Okay, so this is how we design our table layout. Now, how our output looks like, let's see. After clicking on this run button, your emulator starts running and you will get this type of output. So in the first row and first column, we have time. In the first row, second column, we have clock. Okay, again, first name, last name, and we have one button, that is submit button. So this is all about your table layout. Okay, now after that, we have relative layout. Now what is relative layout? In the last lecture, we had discussed about the linear and absolute layout. Okay, so even we had a practical session on that layout also, and we have discussed properties of this layout. So now linear layout is not in use that much. Why? Because of its complexity, and it's becoming very difficult to add the layout in linear. So that's why linear layout is not in use that much. So also it is very difficult to add the layouts in linear layout one after the another, and that's why we come to the next view. So next view is our next layout, that is relative layout. So as the name suggests, relative, it means that if you have a layout, all of its children's or all the children's of that must be in a relation with each other. Relative means that all the children's in your view are in relation with each other. So relation means that they are aligned somewhere based on the position of the former or the next child. So let's look at the properties for which we can use relative layout. So the first property is Android ID. So we have already discussed Android ID in the previous layouts, that is linear layout, absolute layout, and table layout. So what is ID? ID is an unique identification of the view. Now second one is, second property we will see layout above, which is the most important property as Android ID. So by this one, we can define that which layout or which ID or the ID of layout is above it. And in a similar way, we can have align bottom. We can have view matching the bottom edge of the given view ID. So we can define it on the basis of the @ plus package type name and the name of the view that we are having. For example, @ ID, and here we have for example our text one, text 1. So likewise we have align left. In this we can have a view matching the left edge of the given view ID, and it must be in reference with the another resources, so that we can arrange both the views in relation with each other. In a similar way, we have align top, align bottom, align parent bottom, parent end, parent center. Okay, and so on. So don't worry about this property. We will use it in detail when we are having a practical session. So now next one is the Android gravity, which is another most important attribute. So what is Android gravity? It means that based on the position of your screen, how you want your children's of the layout to be present. So Gravity can have values like top, bottom, left, right, center, center vertical, and center horizontal, and so on. And the last one is when you want to ignore the gravity, that is ignore gravity property. So when you want to ignore the gravity, then there is a property like ignore gravity. In this property, we will be able to ignore the gravity, and your layout can work on its own without or ignoring the position mentioned in the gravity. So now let's open our Android Studio, create a new project, select empty layout, name your layout empty project, name your project as relative project or relative layout, and then in the main activity underscore main.xml file, you have to write coding of your relative layout. Okay, so in the main activity underscore main.xml, we are having some by default content, and this content will be having some buttons, but it could be in the relative layout, and we could see that all these buttons are in relation with the particular view group. So in this way, like we are having two buttons in a linear layout and edit text. So here in this relative layout, we are having two buttons. This is button 1 and button 2 in linear layout. Okay, along with the edit text. So all these are in the link with a link with the one and the other views, making all the views or layout relative in nature. Okay, so let's start designing our relative layout. First, we have edit text. Now, unique identification of that text is given, that is @ plus ID, and unique identification ID is the name. Okay, after that, width and height, we are very familiar with these properties now. What is width, what is height, what is field parent and wrap contents, and so on. Okay, now after that, here we specifically mention the orientation is vertical, because by default orientation is always horizontal, but here just wait for 2 minutes. I think my laptop is hanged. Just wait for a few minutes and we will continue again. Okay, so this is a edit text property. Name is a unique identification of that text. Now, here we mention linear layout as a vertical because I want these two buttons are in vertical position to be in vertical position. Okay, so the properties are field parent and align parent start is set to be true. So our first button, again width and height are the common properties that we have to specify. and the text of this button is new button. You can give any other name to your button, but here I have mentioned the name of my button as new button. And Android ID, that is button, is unique identification given to my button 1. Okay, now I have another button. This is a repeated coding. So I have another button. Here ID is only button. Now in second button, again the text of my button is new button, but we cannot assign same ID to both views or to both the buttons because it is unique identification. That's why here ID is given as button 2. Okay, so you can observe that, or you can notice that the text of my button is same, that is new button, but Android ID is different. Here Android ID is only button and here Android ID is button 2. So this is a very simple layout to design. Just I have an edit text and 2 buttons, and here I have used linear layout because I want my buttons in a vertical position. Okay, so after running this, after clicking on this run button, we will see output on emulator as like this. So enter your name. This is my edit text. Linear layout, that means these 2 buttons are in vertical linear layout. The text of my button is new button and new button. Okay, so this is all about the relative layout. Now last layout we have is frame layout. So when we talk about the linear layout and the relative layout, look, in the previous topic, in the previous lecture, we have discussed about linear layout and absolute layout. Okay, now in today's lecture, we have discussed about table layout and relative layout. Okay, so normally what happens, these layouts are in use whenever you have more than one children. Okay, but whenever you have such a requirement as now want to have a layout, but that layout will contain only one children. So in that, what we do is we use frame layout. So for example, if you have a requirement that you want only one button, what I will be doing, instead of creating linear layout or relative layout, I will be adding the frame layout over here. Okay, so frame can have multiple children, but it is used whenever you want a single children. So we use frame layout. So frame layout is commonly used in splash screen or where we want to add full screen web view to display or HTML pages. Okay, so what is meant by splash screen? Splash screen means it just contains a company logo or the company name. So we just have one. One can have either a image view or either. So in that case, we use the frame layout. So whenever you want to add more than one views in layout, then we will not be using frame layout. We will be using any other layout like relative layout or linear layout. So these are the some properties of the frame layout, that is Android ID, which is very common attribute. We have to uniquely identify our view or our layout. After that, Android foreground. Android foreground defines the drawable to draw over the content, and possible values may be color value in the form of RGB, ARGB, and so on. Next one is the Android foreground gravity. Now we know that what is gravity. So this defines the gravity to apply to the foreground drawable. So your gravity can be top, bottom, left, right, center, center vertical, and center horizontal. And after that, the last property we have, Android measure all the children. So it determines whether to measure all children or just those in the visible or invisible state when measuring. And the default value of this property is set to false. Okay, so these are the common attributes which are used in frame layout. Now, how to design frame layout? Frame layout is one of the most simple and easiest layout to design. So when we have only a single children, or when requirement is that we have to use a single view, that time we will go for the frame layout. Okay, so here as I told you, in frame layout we generally use splash images or splash screen. It means that it having only a company logo or company name. So similarly in this example we are going to use image view. Okay, so image view, it means that we have to insert some images into our application. So to insert image in our application, we have to store that image somewhere. Okay, so where we store that image? As in the first lecture, we discussed about the Android application structure. In that, I told you that inside the resource folder, there is a one folder that is drawable, which contains all the static images and images that you downloaded from the internet. Okay, so all the static images are stored in the drawable folder, where we use IC launcher, that is icon launcher. So here I'm using property Android source. Now what is the source of my image? Drawable folder IC launcher. Okay. Now Android scale type. Now scale type is fit center. That means my icon should be fit at the center of the screen. Okay. And now height and width of my image is 250 pixel, 250 pixel. And I have a text view. It means that at the center of the screen, I have a text view. What is my text? That is frame demo. Now, what is the size of that text? 30 pixel. Style is the bold. Okay, and gravity is center. So simply, what we have done here, we have insert one single image which is located at the center, and on that image we have a text that is frame demo. Okay, now look at the output. So this is our icon which is stored at drawable IC launcher, and text is frame demo. Okay, so this is all about the frame layout. So in this unit we discuss about the Android application structure, Android directory structure, and we have seen all the types of layout. Start from the linear layout, absolute layout, table layout, relative layout, and last one is the frame layout. Okay, so with that topic we have covered our practical number 6 also. So in the practical session we have to run, or we have to design all these layouts. Okay,